Rare coin collecting. Discover real value and history in every coin.
Before we begin the main story of the 1958D penny, here is the unnecessary bit you asked for. The quiet rustle of old paper. Money is actually the sound of cotton and linen fibers rubbing together, a comforting sound for a coin collector. Now, onto the coin. The 1958D Lincoln Wheat cent is a paradox in copper, a tale of two different coins under a single date. For the numismatic world, this year is a line in the sand. The last year of the beloved wheat reverse design, forever making this penny a piece of history. However, its value is defined not by its common status, but by a phantom error that exists on its Philadelphia minted sibling, and the incredible survival of its own Denver-made workhorses. Let us start with the Denver Mint coin, denoted by the small d below the date. In 1958, the Denver Mint produced over 800 million of these cents. This massive mintage means that a standard circulated. 1958D penny is quite common and holds little value, a simple piece of historical copper. Yet this high mintage, combined with the Denver Mint's famously improved quality control that year, sets the stage for the first rarity, the perfect survivor. Collectors are obsessed with coins. In MS 67 red condition, 8 near flawless grade, with all of the original fiery red copper luster intact. Because the Denver Mint generally struck better, sharper coins this year than in previous years, more of these coins were saved early. Ironically, this abundance of high-quality coins made the chase for the absolute perfect coin even more competitive. A pristine 1958D in the highest grades has proven to be a stunning investment, with perfect specimens selling for thousands of dollars. A huge premium for a coin that should be common. This is a quiet rarity, a contest of condition over an actual mistake. But the real, dramatic controversy for the 1958 date lies with the Philadelphia minted version, which carries no mint mark. This story is one of numismatic myth and millionaire-making rarity. The legendary 1958 double die obverse, or DDO. While this error technically belongs to the no mint mark coin, its story is so central to the Macbeth Mekinfano penny's lore that it overshadows all other varieties. Imagine an error so rare that only a handful of examples are known to exist. The 1958 DDO shows clear, dramatic doubling in the motto, "In God We Trust," and the word liberty. It is a stunning, unmistakable error created during the hubbing process of the coin die itself. This double die is often called the king of double dies for the Lincoln cent series because of its extreme rarity. When one of these few coins comes up for auction, the bidding is ferocious. One example, though slightly lower in grade, sold in 2018 for over $336,000. A perfect version is estimated to be worth well over $400,000. The presence of this phantom rarity on a sister coin creates an intense hunting frenzy. For all 1958 pennies, including the Denver on Macbeth D cents, every collector who picks up a 1958 hopes for a fleeting moment that they have somehow found a unique transitional error or a major mistake on their coin. While the 1958D does not have a spectacular double die, it does offer other genuine errors that fuel the chase. There are repunched mint mark varieties, where the D appears to have a shadow or overlap from the hand-punching process, creating valuable collectibles worth a few $100s. Even more intriguing are the subtle die breaks and filled letters, where oil and grease block the metal from fully striking, leaving the letters in liberty or trust looking partially erased. The story of the 1958D penny, therefore, is one of legacy. It is the last of a celebrated design, highly collectible in flawless condition, and perpetually hunted by those who dream of finding a new spectacular error. It is a workhorse coin living in the shadow of a mythical, multi-$100,000 sibling, a final, dramatic curtain call for the beloved wheat cent. Before we delve into the secrets of the 1949D penny, here is your unnecessary information. The word diligence originally comes from the Latin root meaning to love, suggesting that true hard work is an act of devotion, which is precisely how coin collectors treat their pursuits. Now, let us turn the coin over and examine the turbulent, high-stakes saga of the 1949D Lincoln Wheat cent, a coin that, in a twist of fate, is rarely valuable for its massive mintage, but can be shockingly lucrative for its printing mistakes. The year 1949 falls right in the heart of the post-war boom, a period when the Denver Mint, marked by the distinctive D below the date, was operating in a frenzy to meet the demand of a surging American economy. They struck a colossal 153 million of these pennies. On the surface, the 1949 D is a copper workhorse, common and easily found in pocket change. With little collector value in circulated condition, this sheer abundance creates the first layer of drama, the common coin that disguises an exceptional treasure. The true rarity and controversy of this coin do not come from the standard strikes, but from the constant, human errors that plague the manual coining process of the time. The mint marks, like the D for Denver, were not punched onto the master die. Instead, a mint worker had to manually punch the tiny letter onto each working die, one after the other. This process was a recipe for mistakes, and the 1949 D has one celebrated variety, the repunched mint mark, or RPM. Imagine a tired worker, perhaps rushed, who strikes the small d into the die, but it is slightly off-center or angled. Recognizing the mistake, they strike it again, creating a ghost image of the first attempt. This is the repunched mint mark. For the 1949 D, there are several known varieties where one D is clearly struck over another, often appearing as a small, blurry shadow around the main letter. These repunched mint marks turn a coin worth less than $1 into a prized collectible. Depending on the clarity and drama of the doubling, a high-grade 1949 D with a distinct RPM can trade for hundreds of dollars. It is a microscopic imperfection that ignites a fierce hunt, transforming a worthless piece of copper into a numismatic trophy, all thanks to a small human fumble in Denver over 70 years ago. The second, even more secretive, controversy surrounding the 1949 date involves a legendary error, coin known as the 1949 S over D. While this major variety belongs to the San Francisco Mint, it is so tied to the year's intrigue that it elevates the drama of all 1949 cents. In this astonishing error, a die intended for the Denver Mint was mistakenly sent to the San Francisco Mint and punched over with an S mint mark, leaving a visible D beneath the S. The mere existence of such a drastic transitional error, where two mints literally overlap on a single date, sends collectors on a deeper dive into the 1949 DEMA. Every dedicated hunter scrutinizes the Denver cents for any sign of a similar mistake, a misplaced letter, an unexpected shift, or any error that might hint at another great, undiscovered transitional coin. The 1949 D cent is thus a deceptively common coin. Its story is not one of a few thousand struck, but of 150 million that serve as a massive copper haystack where collectors tirelessly search for the needle, the perfect mint state survivor that sells for thousands of dollars, or the small repunched mint mark that proves a worker in. Denver was having a very long day, creating a rare and valuable mistake for the ages. It is a quiet battle of condition and a relentless hunt for the small, dramatic blunder. Welcome to one of the most compelling and dramatic stories in American coinage, the 1922 D, Lincoln cent. This coin isn't just rare, it's legendary. It's a coin that turned a simple mistake into a piece of numismatic history, proving that sometimes what's missing can make something priceless. The story begins with an unusual chapter in US mint history. In 1922, only one mint in the entire country struck Lincoln. Wheat cents, the Denver Mint, the Philadelphia Mint, which usually produced the bulk of cents with no mint mark, didn't strike a single penny that year. That means every 1922, penny was supposed to carry the small D mint mark for Denver, and that's where the drama unfolds. The Denver Mint was under pressure, pushing old machinery to its limits while trying to meet production goals. Over-polished dies clogged equipment, and overworked mint employees led to one of the most famous minting errors ever recorded. The 22 no D penny. In this remarkable error, some dies were so heavily polished or filled with grease that the tiny D mint mark completely disappeared. When those dies struck coins, they came out looking like they were made in Philadelphia. A mint that hadn't even produced a single cent that year. Imagine the confusion this caused. Collectors were stunned. How could a penny with no mint mark exist in a year when only Denver struck coins? That mystery instantly turned the 1922 no D into a legend. Soon the 1922 cents were divided into three distinct types. 1. The common 1922 D with a clear and visible D mint mark. 2. The weak D variety, where the mint mark is faint or barely visible, caused by over-polishing. 3. And finally, the no D variety, the one that captured everyone's imagination. But even within the no D variety, another twist appeared. Some of these coins had a weak obverse, Lincoln's side, but a strong, bold reverse. These became known as the no D strong reverse cents. Experts later discovered that the obverse die had clashed, been filed down for repair, and in the process, the D was completely erased, while the reverse die remained strong and crisp. This small detail created one of the most sought-after coins in the entire Lincoln Wheat series. The no D strong reverse penny is the crown jewel. Extremely rare, incredibly valuable, and often selling for over $25,000. In high-grade condition, collectors today view the 1922 no D as one of the ultimate prizes in coin collecting. It's not just about the metal or the date, it's about the story. A story of human error, craftsmanship, and the relentless pursuit of perfection inside the mint. And what makes it even more exciting is that these coins can still appear in old collections, forgotten jars, or inherited coin boxes. Many people have no idea. They might be holding a piece of history worth thousands of dollars. So, next time you look through your old wheat pennies, check that 1922 carefully. The coin we are talking about is the 1956 D Lincoln Wheat Penny, a coin that should be among the most common pieces of copper in American history. But within this massive run of currency, the drama of human error and the hunt for perfection created two powerful levels of rarity that have sent prices soaring into the thousands of dollars. The story begins in 1956 at the Denver Mint, the site of the famed D mint mark. America was thriving in the post-war boom, and the demand for small change was simply staggering. To keep up, the Denver Mint went into overdrive, producing a colossal number of Lincoln cents, over 1 billion of these wheat pennies. To put that into perspective, the 1956 D is one of the highest mintage coins ever made in the entire wheat cent series. This vast number means that any ordinary 1956 D penny you find today has almost no value beyond its copper content. It is a workhorse coin, the definition of common, but the very volume of this production is what created the perfect environment for two types of rarities, the perfect survivors and the beautiful mistakes. First, let's talk about the impossible survivor. Imagine a coin rolling off the press, bright red and gleaming like a new copper penny, and then somehow it stays in a safe place for nearly 70 years without ever being touched by a human hand, a coin counting machine, or the rough tumble of a cash register. This is the mint state red coin because 1 billion of these coins were made for circulation. Finding one that is absolutely flawless, with its original bright red color fully intact, is incredibly difficult. Collectors judge these coins on a scale of 70, and a 1956 D graded red is a true prize. Due to their immense rarity in this perfect grade, these coins have sold at auction for thousands of dollars. One spectacular example once sold for over $7,000. It is not an error. It is a miracle of preservation, and a symbol of the collector's relentless pursuit of perfection. But the real controversy and historical drama lie in the mistakes made on the factory floor, specifically with the mint mark. Before 1990, the tiny D mint mark was applied to the master die by hand, punched into the metal by a human worker. The frantic pace of 1956 production meant that these workers were under great pressure, and they often hit the punch more than once. With a slight shift in position, this created the highly sought-after 1956 D repunched mint mark, or RPM. These coins show a clear, ghosted shadow of a second D mint mark directly next to, or underneath the main one. This error is not a single minor event. Collectors have found several different varieties of this mistake, each with a slightly different placement and look. The controversy lies in the complexity of these varieties, and the debate over which ones are the most dramatic and therefore the most valuable. A clear, distinct D over a shadow of another D turns this common penny into a highly prized collectible, often selling for hundreds of dollars, with the most perfect examples fetching over 1,000. Even more valuable are the truly spectacular mistakes. While the 1955 coin is famous for its double die error, 1956 D pennies sometimes show other, more profound manufacturing failures. These are the coins that were struck off-center, missing half the design, or struck on the wrong type of metal altogether, such as a foreign planchet or the metal disc of a different coin. These dramatic accidents are the rarest, most tangible proof of the chaos of mass production. They are unique historical anomalies, and they create a path for a common penny to become a coin worth thousands. The story of the 1956 D penny is a paradox. Its abundance made it nearly worthless, but its sheer numbers guaranteed a tiny fraction of spectacular errors and perfect survivors, transforming a simple copper cent into a source of historical debate and incredible rarity. The key to finding value in this billion coin flood is to always look beyond the date and search for the telltale sign of a human or mechanical mistake. The story of the 1964 D penny is not one of low mintage, but of mass production, political drama, and the extraordinary controversy surrounding a nearly invisible handful of coins that should never have existed. It is a tale of a nation running out of money, a desperate attempt to fix it, and a collector's dream hidden within billions of ordinary cents. To truly understand the 1964 D, we must first look at the state of the United States in that year. The nation was facing a full-blown coin shortage. The price of silver was climbing, and people were hoarding coins with silver content, dimes, quarters, and half dollars, because their metal value was rising above their face value. This hoarding drained circulation, leaving banks and businesses without enough change to operate normally. The government's response was frantic. Congress authorized huge increases in coin production and began testing cheaper materials. Plans were made to remove silver from circulating coins entirely, which would later lead to the 1965 clad coinage we use today. Inside the US Mint, the pressure was immense. Every mint facility was ordered to produce coins at maximum speed, without interruptions, to meet national demand. The Denver Mint, marked by the D Mint mark, became the workhorse of this effort. It struck an astonishing 3.8 billion Lincoln cents in 1964, more than any other mint in the country. The production was so massive that the 1964 D penny remains one of the most common Lincoln cents ever made. Even in brilliant uncirculated condition, it rarely brings more than a few cents in value. But behind this mountain of ordinary coins lie some extraordinary exceptions. Under pressure to meet production quotas, errors began slipping through the system. The dies were overused, polishing standards were relaxed, and double impressions occurred. The double die reverse variety is the most famous. Look at the reverse side carefully. On these coins, the lettering of United States of America and 1 cent shows clear doubling. Though subtle, these doubling marks make the coin highly collectible. In high-grade uncirculated condition, such examples can sell for several $100s. But the true mystery of 1964 has little to do with errors. It revolves around a coin that officially never existed, the 1964 Special Mint Set penny. During the height of the coin shortage, the Mint suspended regular proof set production. Instead, it began experimenting with a faster and cheaper alternative that could still provide collectors with high-quality coins, the Special Mint Set, SMS. These coins were struck with extra pressure using polished dies, creating a satin-like finish between the proof and regular strike. According to official records, the Mint made experimental SMS coins but destroyed all of them before any were released. For decades, collectors believed no genuine 1964 SMS sets had survived. But then came a stunning discovery. In 1991, after the death of former Mint director Eva Adams, several mysterious coin sets were found among her belongings. They were 1964 Special Mint sets, previously thought to have been completely destroyed. The coins had distinctive surfaces, sharp strikes, satin luster, and no mint marks, matching no known circulation strike. Experts quickly authenticated them as genuine pre-production SMS coins. The number of known 1964 SMS cents is tiny, believed to be fewer than 50 examples. Their unexpected survival shocked the numismatic world and ignited intense debate. Were these pieces personal keepsakes of Mint officials? Were they experimental strikes kept for reference? Or were they quietly saved before destruction? The Mint has never offered a full explanation. Because of their extreme rarity and mysterious backstory, authentic 1964, SMS Lincoln cents have achieved legendary status. When they appear at auction, prices routinely reach $15,000 to $25,000, sometimes higher for pristine examples graded by PCGS or NGC. For most collectors, a standard 1964D penny is common pocket change. But the story of 1964 is not about rarity in numbers. It's about rarity in survival. Between the billions of mass-produced cents, the few double dies that slipped through, and the handful of mysterious SMS coins that escaped destruction, this year captures a turning point in American coinage. The 1964D penny stands as a monument to that moment, a symbol of a mint under pressure, a nation in financial panic, and a few hidden coins that rewrote US numismatic history.